Latest football news, engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside talk on IO Radio.
Hello and welcome to Pitchside Talk here. Well, not on IO Radio, from home.
Yes.
Isn't it nice, Dan, to be working from home? I can see why people do it all the time.
Yeah, it is quite nice to work from home, I guess. It's a bit boring though.
It is a little bit boring.
I think everyone's...
How are you doing then, Dan?
I'm okay, yeah. As I said, bored, but, getting through it as all of us have to. What about you?
Yeah, I'm getting through it myself. I think just trying to keep myself entertained is the key, which is, I have to say, it's been quite easy. I thought it was going to be really quite hard, but no, it's actually been quite easy to entertain myself. But the only reason we were recording from home is because we can't record at IO Radio due to the current circumstances that are going on in the world and in the UK. So we thought we'd do a Pitchside Talk in quarantine, I think we should call this.
Yes. Yeah, good name for that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know the last time we recorded a show, perfectly honest. Gosh, I should have looked this up.
Over a month ago, I think.
It's got to be. I thought we'd say, if we sort of talk over each other, we're on a bit of a delay through the live stream. And also, this is what we look like, by the way. So,
yeah, face reveal.
Yeah, you've had a haircut. I haven't at all.
I have.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just going to grow mine, I think. I think by the end of it, it's going to be down to here, I reckon. If it's not, I'll be disappointed because I want to look like Andy Carroll. I can go as a Halloween costume as Andy Carroll, couldn't I?
That'll be good. It depends how long we're in quarantine for.
It does depend, but I've actually, if I'm correct, I've actually got in my wardrobe somewhere behind me, I've got a Liverpool shirt with actually Carroll on the back of it, I think. Yeah. It's not perfect, mate. So we better get into what we'll actually be talking about today. Well, this one's going to be a bit more of a newsy show, like we always do. We are planning to do future shows like this with maybe some guests, hopefully some guests. It'd be quite nice.
Let's hope so.
Get some more people involved. But this is going to be a bit of a newsy one today, where we're going to be discussing what could happen, how the season could end. Over here, we are now seeing other European countries discuss how they're going to end the season, and some actually resuming the season, which is quite crazy. And also talking about Ipswich Town, because we've got to talk about Ipswich Town at some point, Dan, haven't we?
Yes, we have to.
We have to. Well, football was actually suspended now a month ago. The last match was played in England, was Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid 42 days ago. I don't know what happened in that game. Just a blur. Just a blur.
Just forget about it.
Yeah, I've forgotten about that match already. I stopped at Bournemouth. I'm going any further. First match to be cancelled in England was actually on the same day, which was Manchester City versus Arsenal, which is quite interesting why that one was played and that one was...
Yeah, especially as they came from Spain. That was a bit strange.
Bit strange, but in this time we have seen the top flight league of the Premier League being pushed back from the 3rd of April to the 30th of April, but now it's now being reviewed on a day-to-day basis following the new medical guidelines that are being submitted day by day by the government. Also, we've seen UEFA suspend the Champions League and the Europa League matches until it's safe to return playing again across Europe. Also, Euro 2020 has been pushed back by a year.
Yep.
That's summer ruined.
Yeah, I know, it is, isn't it? Everyone's been looking forward to it so much, but...
Yeah, it was coming home, wasn't it? It was coming home. And
yes, it was.
It's not now. Also, I've seen the Women's Euros, which is actually supposed to be in 2021, being pushed back to 2022.
Right, so that'll be the same year. Oh, no, the World Cup will be at Christmas, though, won't it? So.
Yes, it will. The Christmas World Cup. Can't wait. Keep forgetting it's the Christmas World Cup.
That'll be really interesting.
That'd be very interesting. But UEFA have done this to allow for the domestic leagues to have the time to complete the league if they choose to. But UEFA actually confirmed on Tuesday some leagues will be cancelled in special cases, like we have seen in Belgium. The Belgium league was cancelled, the first league in Europe to be cancelled. They played 29 games out of 30, which is quite mad. I thought they should finish at the same time as the Premier League.
I guess it depends, on where teams are in the league, because if it's quite spread out, then not playing one game, I don't think will affect it too much. But I don't know.
Well, Club Brugge actually won the league. They were 15 points ahead of Ghent. So Club Brugge, this is the interesting thing. Club Brugge have won the league. Ghent have qualified for the Champions League sort of group stage knockout they have in like August. Two teams were promoted to the Pro League in Belgium, but no teams are relegated.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision that they've made there.
This is very interesting.
Because that will have effects on all the leagues below, won't it?
Yes. Well, now that'll make it an 18-team league instead of 16.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that one plays out. And also confirmed today, the Eredivisie League is likely to be cancelled now after the government increased the major ban on sort of massive crowds until the 1st of September. So the Ajax have become the champions by goal difference.
Wow.
They're tied on points with, this is the first name I'm going to butcher, AZ Alkmaar, I think that's how you say it.
AZ Alkmaar, yeah. I think you got that right.
Yes, I should get some party poppers in the background every time I get a name right. I have a few butcherings here, I think, Dan. So yeah, they're going to win it by goal difference, which is quite interesting, actually, how they sort of work one out. But they haven't confirmed if teams will get promoted or relegated yet.
Okay.
But we actually have seen today the first league in England to actually be cancelled by vote.
Yes, we have.
Yes, the National League clubs have voted for the season to end, the regular season to end immediately, which is going to be quite interesting because what will happen with promotions and relegations? Because they're now talking about they're going to have a careful consideration of how do they sort this problem out now.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see. I guess they're going to have to work closely with the Football League and see what they're going to do, because if League Two is going to go ahead, then it'll be interesting to see if they'll promote whoever's top of the National League. I think it's Barrow, I think.
Yeah, Barrow are top of National League. They are actually on 70 points, only 4 ahead of Harrington Town.
Okay, so so that's quite close. But yeah, I guess they'll be having a close eye on what the EFL decide to do with their leagues, and they'll have to take it into consideration to see what they can do. Because if teams are going to get relegated from League Two this season, then I think they'll be able to promote their teams. I don't know what will happen with playoffs. I guess they'll just say whoever finished second goes up. But I guess we'll wait and see.
We will wait and see, because if we actually look at the bottom 4, Ebbsfleet United are only 1 point away from safety. And that'll have a massive effect on them. We're seeing it we will get onto later, we're seeing it in Scotland, where a team have actually taken legal action against the Scottish FA over relegation.
Yes. Yeah. That's quite tough on Ebbsfleet.
Yes, they are. Sorry, they've got 2 games actually in hand over Wrexham.
Oh, okay.
So this is interesting.
They're going to feel really disappointed with that. Wonder if they do the same thing as the Scottish team. I bet they probably must have agreed with the National League to do that, though. So I don't know. I guess only time will tell with these things, I think.
Yes, only time will tell, but it will be interesting to see what happens here, because this could actually have an effect on the big major leagues. How they sort the league out. This could be the first sort of stepping stone. Yes,
I think so. We've had all of non-league below the National League cancelled already, and to now the top of non-league to do it as well, which has an effect obviously on the EFL with League Two. So it will have an effect on the top 4 leagues. I think they'll be looking to see if that's something that they could do. But I don't think the top leagues in England will do that. I don't think so. I don't think that will happen. But it'll be interesting to see how each league goes and if they follow suit with the National League.
Yes, and also another interesting league actually in the world is the German league, the Bundesliga. They've actually returned to non-contacting train sessions where players come in at a time, and then they train in like 4s, but they don't play any contact or anything. And one of the players in the German league, I can't think what his name is now, it's gone blank, said he reckons that the Bundesliga might resume in late May.
Yeah, that's mad. That is. I'd be expecting that. Yeah, they've started training again. Obviously, it's non-contact training, which must be a bit strange for the players, I think.
Yeah, let's be real.
Going
I
to
want a side tackle.
train. But yeah, if he thinks that it's going to be back by the end of May, then yeah, I don't expect that. But what do I know? The players probably know more.
The players do probably know more. And now moving on to what we just mentioned, the Scottish League earlier on. It's been an absolute mess. It's been described by
Yeah.
Stephen Gerrard. He's branded the Scottish FA as an absolute mess after Dundee United made a U-turn on their voting after originally voting for the end of the season to happen, giving Celtic the title for the 9th time in a row, but also seeing Dundee United promoted from the second tier of Scottish football to the top tier of football, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
But they made a U-turn, and if they didn't make that U-turn, we were seeing Celtic win the title, Dundee United promoted to the top tier of Scottish League, Raith Rovers promoted as well, whoever they are, and Cove Rangers, whoever they are, promoted as well. But this is where it gets complicated. The season would have ended automatically. Teams would have been relegated. This is the thing. So Hearts would have been relegated. Partick Thistle would have been relegated. Now, there's another name I might butcher. Stan Ria. I think it's
Stan Ra. I think it's Stan Ra.
Stan Ra, thank you.
Don't count me on that though. I don't know.
I don't know. It's the first time I've ever heard of this team. And this one as well, which is Brenrich City. I think we're going to go for that.
I don't know about that one.
Just take my word on it. Just take my word. All getting relegated, which saw Partick Thistle plan to take a legal action against the Scottish FA over relegation, which would have seen them drop down to the League One equivalent of the Scottish League. But also, this is the interesting thing, when I look at what they've done, they were only 2 points behind Queen of South in 9th, but actually had a game in hand over them.
Yeah. So it could have gone anywhere, really, couldn't it? You never know what will happen in football. So they definitely had a chance of staying up. And I can understand why they'd want to do that. And obviously the Scottish FA, they're not happy with the way that they've handled it. So, yeah, I think they have every right to, not be happy about that. But, it's not really something that can be controlled, I guess. If it's not safe to return to playing football, then they're not going to be able to return. So it will be interesting where that goes. But I can understand where Partick Thistle are coming from, because it's tough on teams like that who have a chance of staying up but are not going to be able to because of a virus. And it's not great for teams like that.
No, but luckily they're being brought back some time after Dundee United's U-turn on voting. But I'm quite surprised they made a U-turn, because they would have gone up to the top tier of the Scottish League.
Yeah, that is
a weird one. Absolutely weird, that as well. Now we're going to be moving on to the Premier League. Now, what we've been discussing, all the other options, what clubs are doing or countries are doing around the world to sort out their league. The Premier League they've had meetings and they're reviewing things on a day-to-day basis when they can return to football. But what should they do? There's many options. We've got the voiding one, which I don't know what clubs want. I think clubs want to resume. That's the main overall goal. They want to resume. They don't want to have any voiding.
The thing is, I think if you're Norwich, you're going to vote yes for voiding, aren't you? But if you're Liverpool, you're going to vote against it. So, I don't think that'll work.
No, but we'll have a look at the league table whilst I've got it up. So, yes, Norwich are 6 points away from safety at this time of recording. But what should they do? Because there's the voiding, playing behind closed doors, ending the season like the Belgium and the Holland League have done. But with teams getting promoted, no relegations.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's something that maybe they can look into. I guess we'll have to wait and see if it works with the Belgian league, because that it will affect the top 4 leagues, obviously. But I guess that's something maybe that they can look into. But for me, I think the best thing to do is, I know it's not great, but play behind closed doors and finish the season before it gets too late to start next season. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. So it's going to get later and later. But I really do think that they should finish this season, and the best way to do that is behind closed doors. And it's not going to be the same, obviously. Without fans, football isn't isn't what it is. So, but what can you do? I think that's probably the best option for me.
Yeah. Once they go down the National League route, how they've ended the season immediately, and if they do see relegations, we're going to see. We might see Bournemouth doing what Partick Thistle are doing and take legal action, because they're on 27 points in 18th, and they're only goal difference off West Ham in 6th.
Yeah.
So are we going to see this? Are we going to see clubs maybe turning on each other saying, "Oh, we want to play on," and some clubs going, "No, we'll end this. I'm happy."
Yeah.
Like teams like West Ham and Watford will want to end this, won't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's quite likely to happen. As you said, teams like West Ham and Watford, they'll if there's a vote to stop the season, then they're going to vote for it, aren't they? And I think there's going to be a lot of teams that do that. And if Bournemouth, they've got a chance to stay up still if the season goes on. So if the season stops, they're not going to be happy. It's going to be a hard decision, obviously, for the Premier League. They really need to think about what's best for football at the moment. And I think lots of people have different views on where it can go, but I don't think stopping the season right now is going to be the right way to go about it. But you never know. We don't know what's going to happen in the future.
No, we don't know. Well, we've got 92 games still to go this season. That's the main thing. That's the main problem that is being said about those 92 games. When are they going to be played? That is the big question. Because I think the thing is, what I think is, if they can make space for a Winter World Cup, surely they can make space to fit in 92 games somehow.
Yeah. Well, if they're going to, obviously they'll have to figure out a way to play them games. But I think they can maybe extend the start of, or delay the start of next season till a bit later. I think that's something that they could do. I think players don't really I don't think the players would like not having a pre-season, but in these circumstances, what can you do? We've already seen Paul Lambert say that players aren't going to be able to play without a proper pre-season, which our fans didn't really agree with. But we won't go into that right now.
Well, surely the games could be used as a pre-season, couldn't they?
Yeah, well,
would that work? Is that too high risk? So it's like the very intense games with pre-season. They are intense, but they're not as intense of playing for 3 points.
Yeah, that is true. I think it'll be too different. I think actually playing competitive isn't going to work as pre-season. But I've seen, their plans to have a 2-3 week break between the end of this season and start next season. I'm just like, there's no way that's going to work. It just really isn't. The players aren't going to be happy with that, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see. I think if it does come to that, I think they'll probably extend, delay the start of next season. I think that's probably the way that they'll go about it. But I reckon they'll let teams vote on it like they have done in other leagues. I think that's probably the right thing to do. See what other clubs think about it.
And what about dropping a cup competition? Is that a realistic possibility that could happen? So maybe if we do start next season late, and it's going to be the same amount of games, surely if we drop a cup competition, surely that might give less pressure on teams, because we're going to see something you moan about. We've seen Pep Guardiola moan about cup competitions.
Yeah.
He likes to moan about cup competitions and too many games in 1 week. Jurgen Klopp does it. Maybe will we see that possibly to maybe ease up sort of the players and the clubs next season?
Yeah, maybe. I think that's a possibility. I think it's most probably going to be the League Cup if that happens. I think it's a cup that no one really cares about until the final now. That's just the way it is.
I think when Man City are there, I think many people kind of go, I don't care about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's probably the cup that will get axed if that does happen. Maybe the Leeson.com trophy. Let's hope so. Let's hope that gets dropped. I really do hope. Because I don't want to play in that again. But I think that's probably a possibility. Dropping a cup competition because it eases the pressure on the teams, obviously going into next year. But obviously, as I said before, it's going to be a tough decision to decide what's going to happen.
Yes, it'd be a very tough decision. And also for lots of teams around England, it's been a very tough time for them. Lots of the lower league teams have been struggling a lot financially because of what's going on in the world. And one of them hasn't been suffering as much, but has a little bit financially, is Ipswich Town. They have been suffering. But Marcus Evans he's been quite active, I think, in this
Yes,
period.
I know.
This is weird. What's going on? He's been active.
It is weird.
It's very weird. And he has been writing to...
It's not very often that he actually...
Oh,
sorry, there's a bit of lag going on.
Sorry, guys. There is a little bit of lag in the recording. Dan, what were you saying there?
I was saying it's a bit strange to see Marcus Evans actually coming out and speaking for once. You know, it happens like once every season, probably.
It's at the end of the season, but it's like a written statement that's not written by him. It's like the Mike Ashley statement. It's just basically copy and pasted. Let's change the position. Put it on. Oh, God. Well, he's actually been writing to fans about the financial impact that it's having on the club and how they're now working within new limits because they're now missing out on large revenue in ticket sales, sponsorship and corporation use of Portman Road. But Marcus Evans has announced, which is quite weird, about next season tickets.
Yes, he has.
Which... I think they put themselves in a tricky position because they had delayed the announcement of season tickets because of what's going on in the world. They did delay it. They delayed it to the 7th of May. But Evans has now confirmed that existing season ticket holders can now renew for an early bird price. Same price as last season, apparently. Touchwood.
Yeah, let's hope so.
With some special additional bonuses, which you can claim throughout the whole 12 months. But the thing is, which I don't know if he's doing it because of what's going on in the world, but if you do it before the 7th of May, which is when they come available, Evans will personally donate 5% of the revenue received back to the NHS to be used locally.
Yeah, that's a great thing. But yeah, I was surprised when I read that, actually. I wasn't expecting him to decide to do that. I think it was actually a good thing that Marcus Evans has done for once.
Interesting.
Yeah, not very often that he does stuff like this. But yeah, it's great that we can renew now. I think, obviously, they know that people are in tough times at the moment. So they have still got the early bird offer going ahead in May, which I think is good. But, you know, I think to actually let people renew now for the same price, I think that's a great thing that he's done. The only thing that I do have a bit of a annoyance with is that obviously he was going to put the prices up because if he's going to keep the same price for the renewals now, he said in the letter that the early bird offer won't be the same price. So obviously he was going to put the prices up, which I don't think he should have done, considering we're 10th in League One. And
that's
he didn't
the thing.
go back up. So yeah, that's a bit of a dodgy one for me. But you know, still a good decision to do the renewals early, I think.
Still a good decision. And also, he has added, if the club is playing League One football next season, or promoted to the Championship, if that happens, I don't know. Need a miracle.
I think that's a resounding no.
Need a Christmas miracle. That's what we need. Tory talking about Christmas, forgotten about the rest. No, we're in Christmas now. So he said that the prices will freeze for next season. For the 21 and 22 season, they will freeze the prices. But he has actually said when football does return and is behind closed doors, if it does return behind closed doors, he has confirmed that season ticket holders will gain access to a live stream to watch all the games, which I think is quite good. By him to say that it's going to be a free system. It's going to be sort of the people are going to lose money out from the season tickets because they're missing. Was it 10 games? 10 games left in the season for Ipswich?
Yeah, I think there's 6 home games left, 7.
I'm trying to think what the games are. There was Bristol.
I know we've got Shrewsbury away, Doncaster away. I think I can't remember the other Oh, Bristol. Is it Bristol Rovers?
Yeah, Bristol Rovers is the one that has been cancelled. That was the first one to be cancelled in League
Yeah.
One. So that's quite good, really. If it does return, you're going to get 10 games free to make up what has been lost on the season ticket. So people, it's a nice little thing. But Evans has confirmed as also for next season, as part of the 4 major benefits for season tickets who renew by the 7th of May. What are the benefits? I've lost them now. It's really quite annoying. Here we go. Receiving a complimentary ticket for any home cup game match in Carabao, Leasing, or FA Cup.
Yeah.
Also, free tickets for guests to join you at your next league home match in the next season to make up for losing games behind closed doors, which I think is quite nice, actually.
Yeah, that is a good deal. Very nice.
Very nice. And also, I think there was another one, but I've lost it. Oh yeah, an interest-free viewing behind a closed door matches if they do continue into next season, which we don't know at the time being.
No,
it could happen. It's a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. We don't know. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. So it's definitely a possibility that this could keep going on. So for him to say that going into next season, yeah, I think that's good as well.
Next season, but it's nice to see it, since you've been kind of quite active in the community. What's going on and all that. But yeah, I think this is a good little deal, isn't it? Really, I think he's had some criticism over announcing this, but clubs have got to really. They've got to start announcing season tickets now, haven't they?
Yeah. He can't leave it too late. Fair enough. He doesn't know what's going to happen, but he needed to do it at some point. I know he delayed it first of all. At this point in time, we're usually well into the early bird deals, so of course he had to delay it. But you can't wait too long on these things, because you don't know when the next season's going to start. So for him to come out and actually have thought of a plan to do with season tickets for next year, I think that's a really good thing. And that's very rare for me to say about Marcus Evans.
Yeah,
actually liking something that he's done.
I think if we was in the same studio, I would be stunned. And I'll be checking you to make sure, are you okay? Oh gosh, how I'm missing being in the studios, man.
Yeah.
But we're doing a home-made studio. Why not? Just like talking quarantine. There we go. But also another thing that's come out today is about something that's been suggested by the Fleetwood owner. Is about regionals League One and League Two, which have been backed by a lot of clubs. So I don't really know how this could work, but it looks like massive away days might not happen.
No.
The 600 trips gone.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that it's going to be more of a north-south divide, like they do in the second tier of non-league. They have north divisions and south divisions, don't they? Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably what they'll do with League One, which means we'll still have a trip to Bristol Rovers. So
hey,
there you go. Still a long away day.
Still a long way day. But what do you think to this? Do you think this could work?
I'm not sure. I think it's an interesting thought. I don't know how it will benefit really. I'm not sure what it will do to benefit the league, I guess. I get, obviously it's less travel and less risk of catching it, I guess. But I don't think, for me personally, I won't like it. The regional leagues. I like I like long away days. I went to Sunderland.
Yeah, you went to Sunderland, and we all found about that, didn't we?
But it's fun to go long away days. It is, but the fans don't have any say in it at the moment. I think it's a decision that needs to be looked into, obviously. And if the EFL thinks that's the best way to go, then fair enough. But I don't think it'll be as good for fans, I don't think, because people enjoy long away day trips. But I guess that's the way it is.
That is the way it is. I'm just trying to open my notes again. I've accidentally closed the page for my notes. We're just talking now.
Oh, okay.
To see if we've got anything else. I don't know if we've got anything else to talk about, to be honest. I think we've gone through all of it. Yeah, we have. That's all the news. That's a month's worth of news done in about half an hour.
There we go.
We can't even do that in an hour show. We can't even do a week's worth in an hour show, can we?
No.
Our times are changing. Well,
Well,
go for it, Dan.
well,
What
we
were
all
you
miss
saying?
football, don't we?
We all miss it. I think that's the overall objective. We all miss football. I did see a tweet which did make me laugh. It says, "When football returns, I will
Yes.
never." I'll never appreciate more watching Burnley versus Bournemouth. I was like, "Oh, that's so nice." I'll never watch, but
Or Ipswich versus Chip.
oh, don't remind me of that. I didn't go to that game. That was quite nice. I
Oh,
should have gone, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed. Well, watching this show.
There's a lot of lag going on.
Is
by the
there?
way.
Oh, this is the one problem when you have to record at home. All this
Yeah.
lag,
Lots of delay.
lots of delay. But I will now
Yeah.
do the intro, hopefully properly. Touch wood. There we go. So thanks for watching this Pitchside Talk, or even listen to it. This is actually going to go out on YouTube if you want to see our faces. But if you actually want to listen to it, we actually can put it on Mixcloud. Yes, we have a Mixcloud as well, which is quite interesting. I'm still trying to work it out properly. But it's a Pitchside Talk if you want to find us on Mixcloud. Also for Twitter, it
New
is
thing.
yes, a new thing. Oh my god, everything's going weird. It's a new thing, new dawn. That's what it is.
Oh, the delay.
Oh, there's such a delay.
Yeah, I said that like 5 seconds ago. You answered like 5 seconds later.
Oh,
You started saying the outro, and I said something. I just butted in the middle.
oh, what's going on? This is all going wrong. Like any show, it all goes wrong, doesn't it? At the end. Well, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's Pitchside Talk. Instagram is talk_pitch. If you want to listen to any of our shows, it's on YouTube, Pitchside Talk, and on Mixcloud as well, Pitchside Talk. And, well, I don't know when we'll do a next show. Maybe next week. Might do something a bit different, Dan. Dan's just nodded his head. I don't know if that's an answer or a thing. I might have to speak to the owners. I might have to see if I can get an emergency loan. Citing new signing in.
There's a lot that. Sorry, there's just so much delay. I can't really hear you, but
Oh, can you not?
it's fine.
Just nod your head.
No, you're
Just
all
nod
like,
your head.
yeah, just nod.
Just nod your head, mate. I'll have to speak to the owner and see if we can get
Alright.
an emergency loan signing in. Maybe we could have somebody else on the show. But I don't know what we'll talk about next week. Maybe something old. Maybe we'll go through some Ipswich Town games we've been to.
Old.
Old, yes. I said that about 5 seconds ago. Oh, what's going on, Rob?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's a delay.
This is all going wrong. I think we need to end this here. So, well,
Right.
thanks.
Yeah. Let's end it.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this absolutely chaotic, recording. And we'll see you next week, and ciao.
See you later.
The whistle has been blown for full time. Tune in next week for another jam-packed show.